Our common understanding of love is often narrow and limiting, confined to the warm feelings we hold for close family, friends, or romantic partners. This view, however, restricts the vast potential for happiness and connection available to us in every moment. True love is far more expansive. It is the active process of building, nurturing, and appreciating our connection to all people and the world around us. This book guides us on a journey to weave this profound sense of connection into the very fabric of our daily lives through accessible and transformative practices. Our journey begins with the powerful, and often unconscious, stories we tell about our own lives. We are not the reliable narrators we believe ourselves to be. Our minds constantly construct narratives to make sense of events, filling gaps with assumptions that can solidify into misleading beliefs. A child bitten by a dog might craft a story that all dogs are dangerous, shaping a lifetime of fear. Similarly, when a relationship ends, we might instinctively revert to an old, painful story about being fundamentally unlovable, blaming ourselves entirely. These internal narratives are powerfully shaped by the stories others tell about us, too, whether through put-downs that make us feel alienated or through affirmations that help us embrace our unique gifts. The first step toward real love is becoming aware of these stories and learning to reframe them with kindness and a broader perspective. To make space for lasting joy, we must courageously turn toward our difficult emotions rather than away from them. The instinct to repress grief, anger, shame, or hurt only prolongs our suffering and isolates us. Engaging fully with these feelings, though painful, is the path to liberation. Consider the weight of carrying a childhood shame, like the fear of others discovering a family secret. That burden can dominate one's identity, creating a sense of unworthiness. Through practices of mindfulness and self-compassion, we can learn to acknowledge our emotional wounds without letting them define us. By sitting with our loneliness, our grief, or our shame, we can begin to separate the feeling from our core self, realizing we are still capable of immense love. This process opens the door to forgiveness not as a forced obligation, but as a natural emergence of compassion for ourselves and others, allowing love to flow once more. Real love flourishes on a foundation of kindness and a level playing field, especially within our closest relationships. Often, we misinterpret a partner's distraction or silence, filling the gap with insecure assumptions that they are losing interest. Instead of reacting from this place of hurt, kindness invites us to consider alternative narratives. Perhaps they are preoccupied with work worries, and to reach out with supportive curiosity. Research into lasting partnerships consistently finds that kindness, particularly during conflict, is the strongest predictor of success. It allows us to express hurt without launching attacks, to listen without mounting a defense. This requires letting go of rigid scorekeeping and notions of absolute fairness. By adopting a mindset of co-sponsorship, where both parties are dedicated to each other's well-being, a relationship transforms from a potential battleground into a loving collaboration of mutual support. The dynamic space between ourselves and our loved ones is critical terrain where happiness is won or lost. This space is both physical and emotional, holding our individual needs and vulnerabilities. How we navigate it determines the health of our connections. We can clutter this space with assumptions and attempts to control, trying to erase the distance by over-involving ourselves in a partner's life. True connection, however, comes from honoring that space with honesty and respect, even when it means supporting a loved one's independent journey. Couples who build lasting happiness do not avoid conflict. They approach disagreements with a fundamental belief in their partner's good intentions. This creates emotional safety, a zone free from contempt or derision where differences can be discussed constructively. Filling the relational space with this safety allows both individuals to grow and the bond to strengthen. At the heart of deep connection lies the practice of releasing our expectations of others. We often enter relationships, even casual ones, with a script for how the other person should act to make us feel loved or respected. When they inevitably deviate from our script, we feel disappointed or resentful. Real connection requires us to meet people as they are, not as we wish them to be. This means listening with full attention, without mentally rehearsing our response or judging their experience. It is about being truly present, offering the gift of our undivided awareness. This quality of attention is a profound act of love that can transform ordinary interactions, making another person feel truly seen and valued. Even challenging emotions like jealousy can be gateways to deeper joy when we investigate them with compassionate curiosity. Rather than berating ourselves for feeling petty, we can sift through the jealousy to uncover its roots, often a sense of insecurity or a perceived lack in our own lives. By acknowledging the feeling without letting it dictate our actions, we can transform its energy. We might discover that our jealousy of a friend's success points to a neglected dream of our own, providing valuable clarity. This process of mindful examination diffuses the emotion's destructive power and can even lead to a genuine feeling of joy for another's good fortune, strengthening the bond between you. The capacity for real love extends far beyond our intimate circles. It is a quality of attention we can bring to every encounter and to the world itself. Active, open attention is the key to creating loving connections anywhere. It means truly noticing the barista who makes your coffee, the colleague in the hallway, or the rustle of leaves in the wind. Studies have shown that simply spending time observing trees can increase our feelings of compassion. By deliberately pausing to embrace the present moment, feeling the sun on our skin, listening to a child's laughter, we interrupt the rush of autopilot and connect with the vitality of life. These moments of mindful presence are where happiness thrives, reminding us of our inherent interconnection. Ultimately, filling daily life with love is a conscious practice of returning, again and again, to a state of open-hearted awareness. It is about rewriting our limiting stories, embracing our full emotional landscape, cultivating kindness, honoring the space between us, releasing expectations, and paying deep attention. This is not a fantasy of perpetual bliss, but a practical and sustainable way of being that finds joy and connection in the ordinary, the difficult, and the sublime. By weaving these threads together, we build a life rich with real love.